Yes, Priya.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. I kindly request all the participants to keep on their video mode. Good morning, everyone. Warm greetings to all. I, Priya Gadam, NSS volunteer of Saraswati College of Engineering, welcomes you all to this event. It is very It is my pleasure to be here today to this seminar, which is going to provide us a valuable insight about organ donation and how can it help to our society. I would like to welcome our guest, Mrs. Meera Suresh, uh, who is treasurer of Federation of Organ and Body Donation and has a big contribution in social service. I would also like to welcome Mr. Purushottam Pawar sir, who is the founder of Federation of Organ and Body Donation. We will start with the session now. I request our guest to take over from here. Sir, please.
Good morning, everybody. And
Good morning, ma'am.
first of all, thank you
Good
so much
morning,
for
ma'am.
inviting us. Yeah, thank you so much on behalf of the Federation of Organ and Body Donation. Thank you very much for giving us an opportunity to let people know about organ donation, the awareness, the misconceptions, and the myths that people have. Uh, a little bit about the Federation. About 5 years ago, Mr. Purushottam Pawar had this brainwave of starting this federation. There were many people in this country, or rather, first we were taking in account of Mumbai only. That many people, there are individuals, NGOs working for the cause of organ donation, eye, skin, body donation, scattered all over. And if we needed any help, there was absolutely no type of coordination that was required at some point of time, you know. So it was his brainwave, and then he put in all these people together. We came all under one umbrella, and this Federation of Organ and Body Donation was started. All the people working in this are quite seniors and quite experienced in this field. And Mr. Pawar started this so that we can have a good coordination with everybody and help each other at any times and solve each other's issues if anything arises to serve in the field of organ donation. Uh, Today, I'm going to take this lecture in two parts. Like first is one part will be there, and we'll have a small question and answer session if required. Otherwise, at the end of the presentation, we will have this required. Can I start sharing my screen now?
Sure, ma'am.
Post as disabled. Can you please put it on?
One request, madam. Please ask the participants which language will be comfortable to all of them, or you can use bilingual.
Ma'am, both English and Hindi will be preferable.
Is it done?
One minute, ma'am.
Yeah. Meanwhile, let me also tell you that we have, through the Federation of Organ and Body Donation, we have done 4 Padayatras covering about more than 5 to 6,000 kilometers all over Maharashtra. We have touched Goa, we have touched Karnataka. Uh, Senior citizens of this federation have gone for Padayatra and to just uh, spread awareness among villages and to people and we have reached a lot of people here, more than about 30 to 40,000 people we have reached. And in every villages and all, we have got a very good response. And these senior citizens were walking from morning 5 o'clock and reaching the destination next point of uh, the village at around 10:30, and then the whole day there were sessions, awareness campaigns, talking to people, listening to their queries and all those things, and trying to solve as much as possible whatever queries they have and whatever issues they had for eye donation, skin donation, and organ and body donation. So such things we have conducted four, and each Padayatra consisted of about 52 days and about 1700 to 1800 kilometers. The total Padayatra would be, and we have got superb response from people, and we were surprised that India is like really going ahead for this and accepting this organ donation, and we are glad that we have done this. And luckily this time, before the lockdown started, we have finished this in the month of February itself. We finished the last Padayatra, and we are really thankful to all the organizers who had helped this Padayatra become successful. Okay, is it done yet? Yeah, okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Can you see the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, Ganpati Bappa, Moria. Now, when I said this Ganpati Bappa, naturally you must have all said Moria behind after me, right? So it has come very naturally to us to say this Moria, because it is inbuilt, it is by default. Whenever we say Ganpati Bappa, it will come naturally to us. So this is what we want in the field of organ donation also. कि हो गया है कुछ, there is a death in the family, there's a death in the relatives, or something happens, that we have to reach out to people and say yes to organ donation. Ganpati Bappa is also a brand ambassador of our organ donation. He was the first one to receive the transplant, and as it is, Ganpati Bappa is always worshipped before we start anything good, right? So that's why Ganpati Bappa in every sense. So Ganpati Bappa Moria again, and we take his blessings for a good start. Now, what exactly is organ donation? Supposing you have a two-wheeler or a four-wheeler, something goes wrong with it. What do? You go to the garage, the mechanic says, okay, we can repair this and all that. But something that is wrong, the spare part is gone wrong. What will you do? He will replace the spare part, and then again your vehicle starts running in the way it was running earlier. But what about humans? If we are sick, we go to the doctor, he will give us medicines. Now supposing the medicines doesn't work, then serious problem. We reach the end state of that disease. Then what happens? The doctor says that we have to replace this part, the body part. Where do we get it? We don't have a spare part shop. Where do we get it? So we get it from another human being, either alive or after death. So actually organ donation is a biological tissue or organ transplant from one person to another person. So it is the most noble act. So why are we harping about it? Why are we keeping on saying that we need organ donation? Because the figures that I am giving here is a waiting list of patients only in the city of Mumbai. Mind you, it is only in the city of Mumbai. And these are the people who are aware that they can get an organ as a transplant. There are many people who are not aware of this also. They don't know that you can get an organ, you can get a replacement of organ, absolutely. So these are the figures that is on the waiting list only in the city of Mumbai, not even Maharashtra, not even India. So it is quite a serious issue. That is why we are doing awareness about organ donation. That's why we need organs, because it cannot be created, it cannot be got from any other source. Now, what exactly is death? there are two types of death, right? First we say like, oh, अच्छा से उसका मौत हो गया, नींद में चला गया, नींद में मर गया, he got a heart attack and he went in a moment. That is a good death he had. And then other death is like, oh, इतना बड़ा accident हो गया, it's like, he was पूरा चिंदी हो गया, very bad, it was a very bad situation that he died. So that is our emotional way of explaining what is death. But actually, technical saying, there is only two types of death. There is natural death and one is a brainstem death. Now we first take the natural death. What exactly is a natural death? Natural death is when the heart stops beating. Okay, when the heart stops beating. When you have a heart attack, when you have a cardiac arrest due to some illness, or if like you are having some illness or something and you die, or due to old age or something like that. But finally, ultimately, what happens is the heart stops beating. So when the heart stops beating, what happens? The body does not receive the amount of oxygen and the blood supply. Okay, so the body dies. The organs also die. So when the heart stops beating, within 3 minutes of it, all the organs in our body die. The person is dead, the organs are dead. So in such case, what happens is we cannot donate any organs, okay, except the tissues, that is the eyes, the skin, and the bones. So in this case, only eyes, bones, and skin can be donated in natural death. We call it a natural death. And in case of brainstem death, I can show you all the solid organs can be donated that we will come to later. That is kidney, heart, liver, lung, pancreas, intestines, and even hands can be transplanted. We will come to that in the later part of the lecture. Now, who can donate organs? A living person. In case there is a relative or close relative. In this case, the government of India is very much particular about who can donate to whom. Okay, the nuclear family, you can say, the parents, the siblings, the husband and wife, the spouse, and the grandparents. They can only donate to each other in case of the matching of the organs are done. Okay, then secondly, the non-heart beating person, as I said, it's a natural dead person, and then the brainstem dead person. Now, living donation also. Why? Only because the nuclear family or the siblings and all can be donated, because there should be no transaction of money involved in that. That's why it is very particular about that. So these are the organs that can be donated, the tissues that can be donated within 6 hours of death. Within 6 hours of death, this can be donated, and after 6 hours it cannot be there because the body starts disintegrating and then decomposing starts, and then it goes bad and we cannot take anything from that person. I'll tell you a little more about the skin donation and why it is so. The burns are there. The burns, when we have burns, that is, many of the people, 70% of all the burn cases in India occur within the age of 15 to 35, and younger children also. They have accidents and all that things. So this is the percentage of burns. So every year, about 1.5 lakh people die due to burn injuries. So this can be prevented. Why? Because of the skin donation. Why? How important is the skin? Because the skin is the first line of defense. It protects us. It is a waterproof. It protects us from all types of weather. It protects from any infection diseases to enter into our body. It allows all the, it's a total defense mechanism. So if this mechanism breaks down, if anything happens to our skin, if it is injured, it is burned, or it is open wound is there. So if what happens, if it is not treated, the bacterial infection enters the body, there is dehydration, and there is lot of loss of protein and electrolytes, and then ultimately the victim dies if it is not treated on time. So skin is the largest organ of the body. Okay. So how the skin donation helps? It reduces pain. A skin donation reduces pain in the patient. You must have experienced, if you have a small burn, even when cooking or something, some oil spills on your hand or something, there is a lot of burning sensation. It's really unbearable. So just imagine the person who is having more than 30 to 40% burns. What is his condition? He cannot bear the pain. So the pain is reduced. Almost 80 to 90% pain is reduced. The patient can bear it. The possibility of infection is reduced a lot, and thus it increases the survival rate. So ultimately, what happens? The patient is uh, like healed sooner because of the skin donation. So if supposing if the patient needs about 8 to 10 months of healing in the skin donation, in this normal thing, because of the skin donation, almost 50% of the time is reduced. He'll get well in 4 to 5 months. He can lead a normal life. He can go back to his work. And then what happens? His hospital stay is reduced. The expenses of medicine and everything is reduced. So the person is benefited absolutely in that case. So these are the uses of cadaveric skin. It must be, some people may not like the screen, but these are the facts of life. So the donated skin is used for the treatment of burns, diabetic ulcers, orthopedic traumas, road traffic accidents, even in case of bed sores or any other infected wound also. Now, skin and eye, they both can be harvested within 6 hours of death. The skin has about 8 layers. What you see, the superficial layer, that is only taken from the by the skin harvesting team. Okay. Now the first layer of the skin is only taken. It's only 0.6 mm thickness is there, like a paper, just like a paper it is. And the skin is not removed from the entire body. It is only from the back, from the shoulder up to the waist, and then again from the thighs up to the ankle. So this is taken, and the total procedure takes about 40 to 45 minutes. When the skin is removed and when the eyes are harvested, there is absolutely no bleeding. There is no disfigurement of the body. The people will feel, "अरे इसका skin निकाल दिया कैसे दिखेगा" and all that. Absolutely no disfigurement is there. And the biggest part is the skin and the eyes that are donated. They do not need any cross matching, so it can be given to anybody for treatment. Now, who cannot donate eyes and skin? Like, there is malignancy of any nature, the cancer, jaundice, if you have any sepsis, that is pus or something like that. In case of any sexually transmitted disease, skin infection, if you have any respiratory infection, pneumonia or anything, or if you are HBsAg positive, that is Australian antigen positive, or HIV/AIDS or anything, in such cases, skin or eyes cannot be donated. Even in case of death by drowning, the skin and eyes cannot be donated because the body bloats up and there is a lot of the cells are all destroyed and infected cells cannot be used for anything. It's a very simple procedure for skin donation. The consent from the family is taken. Even by eyes donation is the same. The consent from the family is taken. Blood sample is taken for all the pathological tests that is required to check if the donor was infected by anything else which was not seen earlier. And then only the skin or eyes is used for transplant. So the body is cleaned actually with betadine scrub first, and then it is harvested by the dermatome. It's a battery operated machine by which it is removed. Then the place where the skin was removed, it is totally bandaged and handed over to the family with total respect and dignity. So nobody will know the patient is dressed properly and the body is handed over. Now mind you, for this whole procedure, you don't have to take the patient back to the hospital or something like that. The team can come home and they can do the harvesting of eyes and skin. Now storage, just little more knowledge about the skin bank, because many of the people, they don't know about skin donation. So I just showing you a bit of screens on this, how the skin bank works. So the samples are kept here and it is stored. This is the skin bank incubator, and it's a walk-in fridge. The skin is then trimmed and it is measured and kept, and then it is made into a mesh. Why the mesh? Because the skin needs to breathe. So when this skin is given to a patient, it needs to breathe. It's like a roller bandage. So it's taking the part of a roller bandage and the healing starts. So these are the few examples. This is a burn injury of a leg, and this is how the skin was grafted on that. And this skin doesn't remain there permanently. After applying this skin, after skin transplantation, the skin does its duty, it's working as a catalyst, and then the skin does its duty, the original skin of our body develops soon, and this skin, the applied skin, the donated skin falls off within 20 to 22 days. So it is not permanent, our own body develops its own skin later. So this is a back injury. This is how the skin was applied, donated skin. This is a hand injury. This is how the hand is healed. Can you see the difference? How well it has healed. Now this person had a chemical burn. His back was burnt totally. So this is how the skin, donated skin was applied. You can see how well it has healed. So this is the advantage of skin donation.
Yes, sorry.
Pardon? Okay, I have explained about this screen who cannot donate skin and eyes. Now, any questions before I start the next session, next part of this? Any questions on this?
No, ma'am.
I'll go ahead with it.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay. Now, what exactly is brainstem death? Brainstem death is where the brain is dead. How? It is the irreversible loss of consciousness and respiration. What happens is when you fall, when you have high blood pressure and your veins are ruptured in the brain, or if you're having a fall somewhere and your brain is affected, in case of any other fracture in the body, usually what happens, that part gets swollen. Now in this case, what happens, the brain is getting swollen. So it is inside the skull. It cannot come out or it cannot do anything. So it just swells inside and all the veins are ruptured, and then the brain stem is affected due to the swelling of the brain. So in such case, what happens, when the brain stem is affected, the person becomes unconscious and the person cannot breathe. He stops breathing. So he becomes unconscious. And what happens at such cases? The patient is taken to the hospital where the doctors see that he is not breathing, he is not conscious, so they put him into the ICU. They try to revive him. When he is not revived, he is put on the ventilator. Now, what does this ventilator do? It helps the person breathe and it keeps the lungs and the heart pumping. Now, what does this lungs and the heart pumping do? They keep the organs of the body alive. So the blood and the oxygen is supplied to all the organs of the body. Then there are various tests done to keep to see if the person can be revived. When he cannot be revived due to that, and the test shows that the brain is not functioning, so then the person is declared as brainstem death. Okay, this can be done only in the ICU. You cannot detect this in the at home. This test is taken. First the test is taken and then the second test is taken after 6 hours. Okay, there are doctors, 4 doctors involved in this test, and then they see if the person is even breathing for a little while, or if the brain is responding to any of the stimulus that is given to him. So when it is not done, so then all of the doctors and the counselors and the coordinators they start, because can you hear me? I think there is some problem with my net.
Hmm.
No, sir. No, madam.
You can hear us?
Yes.
No, no. Here, Jayesh, yes.
Okay. So, so in this, then afterwards, after this stage, when the person is declared brainstem dead after the second test, then the relatives are approached for organ donation. So now, is it legal? In the year 1994, the government of India has started the Human Organ Transplantation Act 1994. where it was declared that no organs can be sold or bought. Why? Because India was considered as the organ trading country of the world. Anybody would come to the country in India, buy a kidney or liver, get a transplant done, and go back to the country. So it was becoming very much illegal, and lot of money was being transferred, and the agents were making a lot of money. So this the government of India bought this act in 1994, and after that it has become absolutely illegal to buy any organs or sell any organs. Okay, and then it has also given permission to remove the organs legally, store it, transplant it, etc. A little about the ZTCC, that is Zonal Transplant Coordination Center. In Maharashtra, in other states it is named as different thing. In Maharashtra it is called Zonal Transplant Coordination Center. We have about 4 ZTCCs in Maharashtra. We have one in Mumbai. And what does this do? In ZTCC, anybody wants an organ or anybody wants to donate organs, it is through ZTCC only. Anybody requires an organ, they have to register with ZTCC that they require an organ, and they are maintaining the waiting list. Whatever organs are required, who require under the blood group that is given by that, and it is through the hospital that we have to register. We cannot go and register directly. And whenever an organ is available with any hospitals, especially the transplant hospitals or non-transplant hospitals also, then it is reported to ZTCC, and then ZTCC takes care of all the distribution. Whoever is on the waiting list, they are given the preference, and all the procedures are done by ZTCC only. So it is totally unbiased. It is not that किसी ने दादागिरी कर दिया, किसी ने like they try to offer money or bribe them or something. Nothing is there. It is totally unbiased and totally a transparent organization where the organs are given only to the deserving recipients who are on the waiting list. And they also have all the reporting and all that to the government, and it is under the Directorate of Health Services that this organization is running. Okay. So the entire coordination of receiving and giving organs is done by the ZTCC. We also have a ROTOSOTO, that is Regional and State Organ and Tissue Transplant Organization. We also have a national, that is NOTO, National Organ and Tissue Transplant Organization. Now this is made as a very simplified thing, because whatever the waiting list people are there, it goes on the national level list. Okay, so if any state is having an organ which they are not using or it is not suitable for any other patient, they offer it to the neighboring state, or they offer it to the
Other.
they offer it to the organization in the next state, so that whoever is the deserving patient gets it as per the waiting list. So it's a really good thing that the government has started. So anywhere in the country, if any organ is available, it is offered to the next person who is really deserving it. So have you heard about green corridor? Green corridor is when an organ is transported from one place to another. It is the traffic police and the local police, they are creating a green corridor. Green corridor is they stop all the traffic, other traffic, and allow only the ambulance which is carrying the organ from one place. So why? Because in case of heart, there's only 4 hours time. 4 hours means not only for
Time
transport.
limit.
4 hours is from removing the organ, the harvesting the organ from the donor body, putting it into the ice box, packing it, and then transporting it, taking it to the airport, taking it to another city, from the airport to the hospital, and transplanting it to the patient. It is totally 4 hours only for the heart. So in this 4 hours, all this procedure has to be done, otherwise it goes waste. The organ goes waste. That's why this green corridor is created, so that it reaches fast, the organ is safe, and the quality of the organ for transplant remains good. So in case of heart, we have only 4 hours. In case of lungs, we have 6 hours. Liver is 12 hours, and kidney is 24 hours. That's why this green corridor is created, so that it facilitates the organ to reach faster. These are some pictures where the traffic police is helping carry the organs. You can see the traffic is all stopped. Mrs. Garak, can you put off your audio, please?
Madam.
Now we come to, yes. Yes, Mrs. Garak, can you please put off your audio?
Hello. Hello, madam. Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you, please.
Yes, I also. What had happened, madam? Madam.
Can you please put off the audio? I have some disturbance from your side. Please put off the audio.
Okay, okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Mrs. Garak. Now, body donation. One can donate the body. Why this body donation? One can donate the body for the purpose of anatomical study of the body by the medical students. First year and second year MBBS students, they require bodies to study the anatomy of the body. Now, this also is not available easily. Only when the person is dead, only when the body is donated can they study. You must have all seen in that movie called Munna Bhai MBBS, right? Where he says that sar ko nahi pata ki pav mein kya ho raha hai. It is actually the case in the anatomy department. When you see the students there standing around a body, actually they have to, they can't see what is happening, so they require more bodies to study, so we can make more good doctors. They can study well and they can do things for us, and through this body donation only they can study the body, they can do research on this body, and they can do well for us in the future. So in case of body donation, we cannot expect people to come and take the body from our home. We have to take it. It is other than the eyes and skin donation. The body has to be taken to the government hospital or the medical college within 6 hours of death. Now, if it is not possible to take the body during the working hours of the hospital, it can be kept in the body freezer, or it can be kept in the morgue, and the next day the body can be taken there, and all the procedures are done, which is very fast, and all the coordinators or the hospital people also help with the procedures, and they can donate the body there. Okay, and again, the body should not be having any infections of any natures. The death should not be due to dengue, TB, gangrene, or HIV/AIDS. All the normal that contraindications were there. And in this case, the body which is donated, it cannot be after a postmortem. The body cannot be donated after a postmortem because already the postmortem is done. So it is of no use to the medical students. Now, what is the difference between an organ and body donation? In case of many people say, आप हमारा पूरा बॉडी ले लो, आपको जो चाहिए उसमें से ले लो, हमको पूरा बॉडी डोनेट करने का है. But this is what we are trying to explain to people, that body donation can be done only in case of natural death. It cannot be done after organ donation. Okay, and in case of natural death only eyes and skin can be taken. So after that, the body can be donated within 6 hours of death.
Correct.
Okay, and then the body, in case of body donation, the body will not be returned to the relatives for funeral rites. It is donated. In case of organ donation, what happens is the body will be given back to the relatives for after retrieval of organs, and all the funeral rites can be done. In this case, what happens in organ donation, what happens is all the procedures are handled by ZTCC and hospital coordinators and all that. But in this body donation case, we have to take the body to the hospital in an ambulance. Now, body donation, in organ donation, what happens is it is detected only in the ICU and the person is on the ventilator. So all the procedures are handled there itself. Okay. And in organ donation, what happens in blended case? As I said, all the vital organs, skin and eyes can be donated. And in body donation case, only the skin and eye can be taken and the body donation is done. So this is the difference between organ and body donation. So what is the role of a transplant coordinator? We as transplant coordinators, we are actually doing multitasking. especially the hospital coordinators. The hospital coordinators have very much, so much of coordination they have to do. They have to coordinate with the donor hospital, the donor families, the recipients, because one brainstem dead person can donate, save up to 8 lives. So 8 recipients, 8 families he has to coordinate with. So many labs for testing he has to, the anesthesia team, retrieval teams, surgical teams, all the teams he has to handle. So literally, like, at that time we feel we should have about 20 years and 20 hands to talk to people on the phone and do all types of coordination. It's a very big task and it needs lots of patience. Actually, we are battling with a very sensitive issue. Why? Because our role starts, we coordinators, our role starts only when the life ends. When the curtains are on, off, it is there, the game is there. But when the curtains are on, if the curtains are closed, our role starts. And it's a very sensitive issue to talk to people, to talk to the family, because they are in grief, their loved one is gone, they are in pain, they cannot handle that situation, they are in depression. So we are dealing with different types of emotions. So we have to handle it with very much care, and we have to be very careful about what we speak to them, how we speak to them, how to handle each and every family. There are very much different type of stages of grief. First, the person is angry, like, the family is angry. Okay, our patient was not taken care of, our loved one was not taken care of. They are angry with the hospital people. They blame the hospital people many a times. They can't believe that the person is dead. Why? Because in case of brainstem death, what happens is they can see the heartbeat going on. Okay, because the heart is kept pumping, the lungs are kept pumping. The ECG is showing that the heart is running, but the person is dead. So it is very difficult for them to accept that the person is dead.
Yes.
Then there comes, in case of many cases, like, then the bargaining starts. Some people, they will ask,
Because
it is
ventilator.
very practical. Madam Garat, please put off your audio, please. So the
I
bargaining starts, like, if we donate organs, can you, like, reduce the hospital bills or whatever it comes to their mind. But anyway, it depends on the hospital. We are not going into that. It depends on how the hospital deals with it. So at last they accept. They accept when the counselors work with them, when the coordinators work with them. They are counseled, and then after that there is an acceptance, and then they say yes for organ donation. 95% of the times we are successful in counseling with them and getting a yes for organ donation. There is absolutely no funda, like, there's no formula for this counseling or what is the right time to talk to a family, every case is different, every experience is different. So many times we have to, like, listen to them, shouting at us. They are angry on us. Some of the coordinators are even beaten up because they have asked for organ donation and all those things. But we have to accept everything that comes our way. And we have to keep, like, जैसे बोलते हैं ना कि जबान पे शक्कर और सर पे बर्फ रख के चलना चाहिए. So that is what happens to us. We have to be very patient. We are walking on thin ice, actually, and we have to maintain decorum, and we have to maintain our patience at the most, and in this times. I was talking about hand transplant. Many of them have not heard about hand transplant, because now hand transplants are happening. There have been many cases. The first one that happened was in Kerala. It was a guy called, boy, young fellow called Manu, and this hand transplant is a very complicated surgery. You can see, it is like joining about 25 tendons, 6 nerves, 2 arteries, 5 veins, and 2 bones. All these things have to be put together, and it takes about 16 to 17 hours of surgery for the hand transplant. It is as complicated as a liver transplant. So hands also can be donated now. It's a great thing that our doctors are doing, and it's a great opportunity for people who have lost their hands and unfortunate that they do not have hands, and we can get hands also. Now I was telling you about this Manu. You can see in the first about two pictures. That's Manu. He had lost his hand when he was traveling in a train in a compartment, and there was a young married couple, and they were also traveling in the compartment. Some rowdy boys were teasing them. So Manu intervened and said, "Why you have to tease them? Let them be, and uh, you have to be quiet. You don't have to tease them now." But then those rowdy boys, they got angry and they pushed Manu out of the running train. So Manu fell on the tracks, and on the another track, the train came and cut off both his hands. For a few years, Manu was without hands. He was very depressed. He was tried to commit suicide because he couldn't use his hands, and he was very much depressed. And finally, when his brother, he heard about Dr. Subramani Iyer in an interview that hands can be transplanted, he took him there and he got a donor fortunately. In the second picture that you see, this man with uh, black jacket, white shirt and black jacket, is Abdul. He's a soldier who was in charge of finding these landmines in both his hands. He had heard about Manu's case in India. He came here in India, and then he was here for 1 year, and he got his hands by a donor, and he is back to his country in Afghanistan. And unfortunately, just last year he expired due to some other heart attack. But this picture had gone viral. In this picture, you can see this girl in a black dress and the lady next to her in white sari. That lady's husband's hands were donated to Abdul. Now you can see the pride and the look at the expressions on their face, how happy they are, and they are not looking at Abdul's face, they are looking at the hands because they know it is their loved one's hand, and they are so proud about it. Yes, yeah. 1 second, please. 1 second, please. Can you see me? I think my video has gone off.
Oh, no, ma'am, we can't see you.
1 second.
We can see your screen, but we cannot see your face.
Now, can you see me?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay. So I was telling you about this Abdul and the family that is so proud. So just see the happiness on their face that they have donated, and the real happiness that they get when you donate something and you know that person has uh, benefited so much out of the hand transplant. And Abdul had gone back to his work again, but unfortunately he expired last year, and it was very sad. Okay. So there are many cases here. We have one girl, Shreya, from Pune. She had also lost her hands in an accident when she was traveling from Manipal to her hometown. And the bus met with an accident. She had lost both her hands. She had tried prosthetics. It was not feasible, and then she went for hand transplant. And she is one happy girl now. So, and recently in Mumbai also there was a hand transplant. One young girl, she had lost her hands in the train accident. She too has got hands now, and she is absolutely fine, and I'm very happy with it. So just the glow that comes to their face when you donate something, and the happiness that you get when you donate something, even a small thing, it's so much, it's really soothing to our soul. Okay. So now what we can do, you as young generation, you may be having NGOs, you must be having CSRs, or you must be having projects. You as college children, you must be having so many projects. You can take this ahead. You can help, you can join any organization who are doing this. You can start your own thing, you can do trainings, you can train yourself, and then you can do all the coordination required. Okay, you can do training sessions. In a team you can work. And this is what the main thing that we need is the clearing the misconception and misunderstanding that is there in the society about organ donation. Okay, how you can spread the word. You people are experts in social media. Talk about it, write about it. Now you cannot distribute pamphlets in such situation. You cannot organize camps. But such sessions on organ donation is really worth, I tell you. You can spread the word through your social media. If you're working, you can tell your colleagues, you can tell your friends, tell your family about it, tell your relatives about it, organ donation. Even if you talk to 10 people, you can talk to 100 people, and even if one person is assured about it, then you have done your work. That satisfaction of at least showing somebody what is organ donation, telling somebody about organ donation is a very big deal. So you can start anywhere. Organ donation now we have started from school level itself. 8th standard, 9th standard kids, because nowadays the kids are very smart, very smart. They understand things. They have a high level of maturity. So we start from school level, from colleges. Now as we are talking to you now, social groups are there. There are anywhere and anything, anywhere you can go and spread awareness about the organ donation. Any organizations you can do that. We have gone to the extent of going to condolence meetings and tell people about organ donation. If that family member who has expired has donated, if the family has donated his organs, then we go to that condolence meetings also and tell them about the awareness of organ donation. So anywhere, there are absolutely unlimited options. Just a few examples where we have touched anywhere and anywhere, as we say. Yes, we have reached many, many, many people. The media also helps us to spread awareness. It is a good thing that they are doing it. So who can donate organs? Anyone can donate organs. Absolutely, there is no limitation. There is no age bar for eyes and skin donation. Skin, even a 100-year-old person also can give. I have done the retrieval of an 101-year-old lady. So absolutely no issues. There is no question about the color of the skin or anything. It is just a tissue. Color doesn't matter at all. So in the first organ transplant, that is kidney transplant in Maharashtra, was done on 27 March 1997 by Dr. Vatsala Trivedi here in Maharashtra in Mumbai in Sion Hospital. And from that day onwards, these are the list of how many organs were donated and how many transplants were done. The figures were really very bad, and then it was sometimes it was really, really bad. But then from the year 2013, 14, 15, it started coming to double figures. We have not yet reached a three figure. It is so bad. And India is a country that is not number one in organ transplant, but from the end of the list, it is number two. So we have to bring it up the list. We need to do this. So this is the last 3 years comparison of how many donors were there. The last year was a bit better. This year it was a little bad at the start of the year because of this corona situation. But still during the time of corona also, after giving a gap of about 2 months, again the transplants were started slowly with absolute precautions and the protocols by the transplant hospitals. So a special mention here about the COVID times transplant. About 10 donors when I had made this, but it has become 11 now. 11 donors, they have transplants were done of 11 donors. There are 15 kidneys, 10 liver and 2 hearts were transplanted. Now it has increased, the kidneys 17, liver is 10, heart is 3 and the hand transplant is also added to that. Now, a proud thing is that a total of 307 health workers were involved in this 27 transplant that has taken place, which includes all the staff, the transplant coordinators, nurses, doctors, technicians, ambulance drivers, absolutely everybody, even the cleaning staff. But it's a proud thing to say that not one person were affected by COVID. Nobody tested positive. So this is what the precaution was taken by everybody, and they have done a very good job of it, and we are very proud of it. So now the transplants have started again. So there are some myths that we want to clear here. So is there any, the first question comes, is there any chance of survival of this brain dead individual? There is absolutely no chance of survival because it is not a coma. It is not a coma. The person in coma at least can come back to life. But now here in case of brainstem death, they cannot come back to life. It is a total, it is dead. It is dead. You cannot bring back that person to life. Okay. In coma, the person can come back to life even after 2 years or so. But here they cannot come back to life. And then they are asking whether the organs are given only to rich people. No, it is not the case. In the list, waiting list of organs required by people, there is no column for financial status. A poor person also can get an organ. Of course, the cost of it is more, but there are many NGOs, there are many trusts who are helping them in getting the transplant done. So money is not in the picture at all. There is absolutely no column of financial status in the waiting list. There is no disfigurement after organ donation. There is just one cut as the surgery, normal surgery is done. Just one cut, there is no disfigurement at all. Okay. And they are asking that if we agree for organ donation, that means the patient, the donor will not be receiving good care. It is not true. Absolute care is given to the patient. And if then he is declared brain dead, in fact, he has to be taken more care of. All his vitals has to be, kept on some level. His blood pressure has to be maintained. Urine output has to be maintained. His lungs oxygen level has to be maintained. In fact, there is more work to maintain the donor than to maintain a normal person. So there is nothing of this nature. Another question is asked, will the donor experience pain? Actually, this question is like, it's only an emotional thing. The donor will not experience any pain because he is dead. But it is our emotion which plays the part. He doesn't experience pain. It is we who experience pain. I've seen so many times, when a dead body is going, the funeral process is going, their hand, holding an umbrella on the head of that person. Why? It is our emotion. उसको तो धूप नहीं लगता है, कुछ नहीं लगता है. He has nothing left, but still it is our emotion that plays. Okay, so the biggest thing in our India, especially, is like the misconceptions and the they say क्या बोलते हैं अभी पुनर्जन्म. Okay, if we are like we give organs, we donate organs, then what happens in the next janam? We will have a next janam, and then we will come without a organ. If we donate our eyes, we will become blind in the next janam. If we donate our kidneys, we'll be born without kidneys in the next janam. Have you seen anybody born transparent? नहीं ना देखा. It's only in the science fictions. Transparent body आता है, अंदर का spare part उसका दिखता है and all that. It is not there in human life. It is not possible. I don't know what will happen the next minute. You may see me today, you may not see me tomorrow. I may not be alive. I don't know what is going to happen in the next minute. So what can I say about the Punarjanam? Believe in it if you want to. But if you are getting a next Janam, you will get everything new, everything customized, branded, सब अच्छा मिलेगा, नया मिलेगा सब कुछ. These religious gurus, they put things into our mind. They say, they only teach us, they themselves teach us कि शरीर नश्वर है, आत्मा अमर है. This sharir is going to be burnt or buried. It is going to be ashes after all, at last. So why not give? God has given you one more chance. पूरा जन्म में डोनेशन करो नहीं करो, अच्छा कर्म करो नहीं करो, लेकिन मरने के बाद वन मोर चांस भगवान दे रहा है. अभी तो करते जा, मर गया तो अभी तो दे के जा कुछ. That is the thing. But these religious gurus, they sometimes misguide us. With due respect to all of them, with due respect. What happens? जैसे जन्म लिया है वैसे इंसान को वापस जाना है. Is it possible? When I was born, I was a very cute baby, about 18, 19 inches, very fair, curly hair, everything. अभी मेरी हालत ऐसी है. आई एम नॉट द सेम ऑल थ्रू द इयर्स. What I am about a year ago, I may not be the same. I may lose my hands in an accident, legs, limbs may go. I may have to go a breast cancer surgery. I may have to go uterus cancer surgery. I may have to lose some other intestines or something like that. Surgeries होंगे ना. For life saving, you will do anything. Will you go and ask the guru at that time? You will not ask the guru. गुरु बोलते हैं नहीं, मोक्ष नहीं मिलेगा, मोक्ष नहीं मिलेगा. But when you require an organ, what will you do? Will you go and ask that guru? गुरु जी मुझे किडनी चाहिए, मुझे लीवर चाहिए, मैं खरीद ले लूं क्या उससे? नहीं लोगे आप, नहीं पूछोगे. क्यों? We are selfish. We want our own things to happen good. If such is the thing कि मोक्ष नहीं मिलेगा, then will you think about the person who is donating you a kidney or liver or heart or anything, that उस आदमी को मोक्ष नहीं मिलेगा, मैं कैसे लूं उसका organ? You will not think at such times. You will think only about yourself because you are selfish. So as we are taking, we also need to give. Okay, that is the biggest thing you can do in life. The biggest thing, the most noble deed you will ever do in life. Right, and then there is absolutely no compensation given to the donor family. It's pure donation, nothing else. Okay. So all the religions in this world, they support organ donation. None of the religions says no. It is a different version of everybody. Some say yes, some say no. It is as per their like बोलते हैं ना, अपनी अपनी सुविधाओं के लिए वो लोग रूल्स चेंज करते हैं. It's the same thing. But every religion in this world got donation. So this is a donor card. Above 18 years of age, you can fill this, keep it with you. Tell your family about it. When you are pledging your organs, it's not, your duty is not done. You have to tell your relatives, you have to tell your family about it. Because after you are dead, after one is dead, the body belongs to the family. They have to give consent. If the consent is not given, nothing can be taken. No organ donation happens. No eyes or skin also can be donated. So your family should know about it. Tell them that it is your wish to donate and convince them about it. So yes, say yes to organ donation. Please don't take your organs to heaven. God knows we need them here. So let your heart and brain decide soon about organ donation. What will you get? People ask, मुझे क्या मिलेगा इसमें? You get blessings, unlimited blessings. And believe me, these blessings, they don't go waste. It comes to you when you require. You will not even know in what form and figure it comes to you. But blessings do come, and they do come and help you at your utmost needed time. Just think that 8 families will be blessing you people. So these are some of the awareness camps that we have done. Just a few pictures. This is the BST depots awareness camps that I had done about a few years ago. All the 26 depots of Mumbai we had done. This is Vadala depot, where there were 15 lady conductors at that time, and all of them had pledged their organs. Very proud moment for me at that time. These are some of the things that we keep doing. This is Dr. Anvay Mole, who had done the first heart transplant in Maharashtra after a long gap of years. And this is Santosh, who was the transplant coordinator at that time. And this is how we try to spread awareness on special occasions. So this is Amir Khan pledging his organs. And there is Marathi actor Shaurya Panshe, and even that Marathi film person, actor OG House, किसका है वो, Home Minister का आदेश बांदेकर. He has also pledged his organs when I had done a project in Film City. कुछ तो गड़बड़ेगा है. He has also pledged his organs. So these are the 33 registered hospitals in Mumbai. I'm just giving this running through. If anybody requires any help, God forbid, we should not require. But then these are the hospitals that are registered in Mumbai. These are non-transplant organ retrieval centers. They are only given permission to retrieve organs. They cannot do the transplant. Okay. So, thank you very much, everybody, for patiently listening to me. If you have any questions, shoot. Any question is fine. Don't feel that, oh, how should I ask this question? You can ask any questions. And if anything has come on the chat, somebody can ask those questions also. I can reply to them.
मैं बोल सकता हूँ, सुने ना? Hello? Hello?
Yes.
Madam?
Yes, Mr. Ishwar. Yes.
Good morning.
Good
हमारा
morning.
गुड मॉर्निंग. हमारा तेलंगाना आंध्रा में ये किडनी फेलियर्स दो किडनी फेल होने के बाद में डायलिसिस वाले ये ऑर्गन डोनेशन के वास्ते रजिस्टर करने के वास्ते ये आंध्रा तेलंगाना में दो गवर्नमेंट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है. तो उसमें रजिस्टर करना बोले तो वाइट रेशन कार्ड और आधार कार्ड रहे तो फ्री रजिस्ट्रेशन है. अगर आधार कार्ड और आरोग्यश्री कार्ड नहीं रहे तो तेलंगाना में 5,000 रुपीज डिपॉजिट है, वो नॉन रिफंडेबल है. और आंध्रा में 10,000 रुपीज है, नॉट रिफंडेबल. But what is the condition of your Maharashtra, madam?
It's the same here. It's the same. If you have that orange color card or something like that, it is done in a corporate hospital. Maybe वो उसका किया जाता है. कम पैसा ही नहीं, 5-10 हजार ही उसका डिपॉजिट होता है. बाकी तो सारा गवर्नमेंट हैंडल करती है. There is no charges for transplant.
नहीं, मैं बोल रजिस्ट्रेशन के वास्ते पूछ रहा हूँ. ट्रांसप्लांटेशन के चार्जेस नहीं. Only I am asking only for registration.
Yeah. Registration also. Yes, registration is also there. Very, very low cost. Hardly 5 to 10,000. Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Yes. Nikhil Sawant has asked latest question regarding COVID body. Can we donate organs and body donation? No, absolutely no. In case of COVID patients, because of the death of COVID, no body donation and no organ donation is done because the body is infected. It is a type of respiratory infection that is taken there. Corona is a type of a respiratory infection. The lungs are affected and no organ donation can be done. In fact, the body is not even handed over to the family. The body is cremated or mostly it is cremated by the hospital people only. It is not handed over. Only maximum of 5 people can only see the face of the dead person, and that also wearing all the kit and all, taking the precaution. So no donation can be done due to the COVID death. Yes, anybody else?
Madam, nowadays one message is spreading in the WhatsApp University that Mr. Sunil and his wife both have met with an accident and they are willing to donate their kidneys. So these kind of fake news are spread without knowledge. So that is, as you rightly said, how you students, young generation can help and promote organ donation. But nowadays, the wrong impression is being spread through WhatsApp media that they are willing to donate. Please throw light on that. Who can donate? Can these kidneys or any organ can be offered like that? And in the COVID situation, the people found that they received the body and all the organs were removed. In fact, where the fact is, the body is not handed over to the relatives. How come the people relative open the body and inspect the organs, and after inspection, why they are not keeping them and why not they are going to course like? Because we think less for a good thing, and we spread the bad things very rapidly. Kindly throw light on that, please.
Absolutely, Mr. Pawar. It's very unfortunate that WhatsApp is the biggest university, and it is like it spreads like wildfire. I should say, it is so fast. It is so fast. The media has become so fast. Wrong information goes very much sooner than what is the good information. Yes, I'll take the first example that such and such couple has met with an accident. Their kidneys are available. Please save somebody's life and all that. It is absolutely wrong. Nobody can offer kidneys like that unless it is in the hospital, it's in the ICU. This cannot be done. Secondly, you cannot advertise that your kidneys are there for saving somebody's life. It is through proper channel, it is through proper authorities that one can give the donate organs. It cannot be distributed by yourself. अरे मुझे इसको ही देना है, ये मेरा एकदम चाहने वाला है, मैं इससे बहुत प्यार करती हूँ, इतने सालों से उसका किडनी फेल हो गया, मैं इसे ही देना चाहती हूँ, मैं मरने के बाद मैं इसको ही देना चाहती हूँ. वी हैव नो चॉइस. We have absolutely no choice in distribution. There is a authenticated waiting list, and the waiting list only will be distributing. The ZTCC authorities in every state will be distributing that. There is no other way of distribution. You cannot advertise. Please do not circulate such fake messages. And if you get such, please tell them that this is a fake message. Please do not circulate this message further. It's very bad. Secondly, there was a case, yes, that the body has gone to the family and all that things, and it is opened and there are no organs. When the COVID death body cannot be handed over to the family, how can any organs be taken? The organs cannot be donated. They are of no use. You tell me, एक खराब हो गया चीज किसी को, already somebody is suffering with a kidney or a liver failure or something. Can you give a bad organ to that person? In fact, the organ cannot be removed only from that. It's a COVID death. They will not even do post-mortem. It is the pandemic rule of the world that the body, no post-mortem can be done, no body can be handed over to the family. As I said, it's a very strict municipal rules that only maximum of 5 people can see only the face of the person, not the entire body. So it's a very wrong thing. That's a wrong thing that we have to stop it. Okay. Now, somebody has asked, Akanksha has asked if somehow if someone has a burn injury years ago and has recovered, later on can they do organ and tissue donation? Yes, absolutely. Akanksha, they can do organ and tissue donation also, no issues. In fact, let me tell you, if there is that, the skin gets compressed like this due to the burn injury, and there is a contraction here. One second. So if there is some contraction or something, and that can be corrected by the surgery. In our National Burn Center at Airoli, it's a burn center, dedicated burn hospital, where the skin bank is there. There are surgeries done once, 4 times in a year. There is a free surgery camp for such people, and a corrective surgery can be done there. Now, due to COVID, they have stopped it. They have not done. Otherwise, maybe they will start in December or something again. So it can be done. So that corrective surgery also can be done. Okay. Now next question is from Aditya. After successful recovery from corona, after what duration can we donate the organs? My dear Aditya, you have a long life, and let everybody have long life, and it is decided at the time of death. We don't know what type of death we will be having, whether a natural death or a brainstem death. So at the time of death, the doctors decide how good the person is. Even if the family agrees for organ donation, it depends how much good quality is the organ. They are first testing the quality of the organs, and then only they are taken for transplant. Just because the family has said yes to organ donation doesn't mean that the surgeons will take away all the organs. No, the organs are tested, the quality of the organs is seen, and then only they are removed for transplant. Otherwise, no. Yes. Anything else?
Ma'am, I have a question. Actually, this comes
Yeah.
to some of my relatives that they have donated their body parts. They said, "Ki I am a donor," right? But they said ki if the hospital comes to know that I'm a donor, then don't you think that because of some biased nature they won't save my life? Is it true? Matlab they were
Not
saying
possible.
like this.
It is not true because it is the rule. It is the rule. The hospital people will not do. Even if you are registered organ donor, it is not necessary that they will not take care of you. They have to save the person. They have to take all the things in possible that the person is saved first. That is the first priority. It is their oath that they have taken. They have to save the person. They will not do this. They will not do. None of the hospitals will do this. See, it is like, if anything happens to our loved ones, we always get affected by that. And we try to put the blame on somebody. But it is not the case. It is always that they will try and save the person first. I have
I
one more
will
question
add
here.
I will add one more thing to that,
Yeah,
because
sure.
for doctors they are for life saving. They will save the donor's life first, and then they will think the recipient's life. Yes.
Yes, sir, absolutely true.
Uh,
But these are the myths now which is passing on various platforms. That is why I asked these questions. And one more thing,
yes.
suppose I am a donor and accidentally I met with some accident, I'm no more. Then how my body will be treated because my relatives will won't reach at that place. Then how one could identify ki this is a donor body and how it can be treated means give something like where this body will go, it will be informed to the relatives, then the relatives will come and they know ki, okay my this person is a donor. Then how they would, because they have some limited hours, my body can survive within limited hours, and you said ki 4 hours, within 4 hours you have to transplant or take the body parts like this.
Ma'am, you are absolutely confused about so many things. Let me tell you first. God forbid, if you meet an accident or something, okay, first thing is your family is informed. Secondly, nobody can take any organs, not even eyes or skin or any organs without the consent of the family. Okay. So the family is first informed. They will be they will be first working for your well-being and for your survival rather than the organs.
No, no,
So
ma'am.
that
Suppose
that
I'm not
misconception
at
is there.
that place where my family is there, right? Suppose I'm out of town, and if there I met the accident, and the time period will be less now. For then what will
No,
be the procedure?
without now, if the person is dead, if the donor is registered as an organ donation, but still without the family consent, nothing can be taken. And if the family cannot reach on time, nowadays the system is they can take it on the email, they can take it on the messages that the consent can be given. That option is there nowadays. But then without the consent, nothing can be done. Only the family agrees by writing on the email or on the message that they are okay with organ donation, then only it can be taken. Otherwise, no. The hospital will not take a decision by themselves. They will inform the family first.
By pledging your organs or by possessing donor card doesn't make sure that you can donate your organs. Organ
Yes.
can Organs can be donated only with the consent of the deceased person,
Yes, and it's not
their
illegal
relatives.
or illegal. Once you have placed your organs, you have placed your organs. It is your wish. Now tomorrow your family will say, we do not want to donate any of his organs, not even eyes or skin. Then we cannot do anything. There are so many cases that we have reached the family. They have called us for organ donation first. I mean the eyes or skin. We cannot do organ donation at home. Eyes or skin cases also I tell you. When we reach the house of the donor, and then after reaching there they tell us no, we don't want to donate. There are so many cases happened with us. So it is the wish of the family. We cannot do anything about us. Now today I have not pledged my organ. Supposing I have not pledged my eyes or skin or anything after my death. I'm not pledged. I'm not a donor, organ donor also. After my death, my daughter decides that okay, I want to give away my mother's eyes and skin or my mother's organs. She is free to do that. She can do that. It's not necessary. It is our just a wish. It is our wish. Finally, it is the family who has to decide what to give or what not to give. It is not illegal. Now, supposing many people ask, If I pledge today, what if my family doesn't give? Will there be a legal issue? There is absolutely no legal issue. There is no binding, absolutely. There's absolutely no binding. It's your wish and your family's wish. Okay, now one more question is there. How much is life of organ, the organ of body after surviving a year, is it good for someone? I exactly didn't get this question. I'll just try to understand what this question is. The life of the organ that is transplanted into somebody's body depends on the recipient also. How much care he is taking for himself and how much medicines he is taking properly, how much he is uh, listening to the doctors and abiding all the instructions, how much diet he is controlling, whatever the instructions of the doctors have to be maintained. And after that only, if that body survives, it will survive well. There are people who have also survived many years of life after organ donation. We have many good cases where people have still survived 20 years, 25 years after a transplant. So it depends on the recipient also how well that person takes care of himself. And after our donation, and if we are a transplant patient, if we have got an organ after somebody's through somebody's transplant, it is, I don't think it will be, the quality of the organ will be good after, supposing today I have got a kidney. If I am brain dead, if my kidney can be given, okay, it depends again, because I'm already having a second hand organ. I don't know how good the quality of that organ is. It's for the doctors to decide. Yes. Anything else?
One thing you said now that the preferences is given according to the waiting list, right? But
Yes.
suppose in my family, if my dear and near one is suffering from some ailment, and I want to donate some organ to him or her, so then again we have to wait for the list, or we can do it one to one, like.
No. In live donation, this is not the case. What I was talking about, the waiting list is for the cadaver donations, where people have registered for cadaver donations. Okay. For live donation, there is a different procedure where ZTCC is not involved. There is no waiting list. You have to go through some procedures where the hospital coordinators will help you with that. You have to take the permission of the appropriate authority. They will take all the interviews and all that. They will first do the matching also. The hospital people will do the matching, whether it is matching for the recipient also from the donor, and they will see your relations are, whether they are true, your paperwork are real or they are faked or whatever it is. Everything is done, and then only the permission is given for a life transplant. This takes about 1.5 months for all the procedures. So you can give to your nearest relative, as I said earlier, to your own children. Children can give to their siblings, grandparents can give, husband and wife can give to each other. All these cases are there. Only the nuclear family basically. So for
Can
that,
you
no
put
waiting list is necessary.
can you put some insight about what is liver transplant? This can be liver transplant, ma'am.
Yeah, liver transplant. So when the liver is not in a working condition and it needs a transplant. So the new liver from a cadaver or a part of liver also can be given. Now supposing liver is the only organ in our body that can be regenerated, right? So in live donations, when only a part of liver can be donated to a person who requires it. So what happens? The donor liver also regenerates and the recipient liver also regenerates. So they both of them become well. So part of liver can be given in live donation. Like we have 2 kidneys, we can donate 1 kidney. We have 1 liver, but we can donate part of our liver, one part of a liver, so that it is regenerated again. So that is a big thing about the liver transplant is, like, we can donate a part of liver and 1 kidney. So that regenerates in both the persons.
Very much, ma'am. The first time I have, listen about that hand transplant can also take place and skin transplant can also take place, because before that we are only limited to the heart transplant, eye donation, like this only. But skin donation and this, body part donation, we have, I think many of us have heard first time. So thank you for very
Yeah,
much for giving such good insight to all of us. And
this is
we
what we are trying to do.
God has
This
given
is
us
what
every part, it is useful, and every part of our body can be donated. Even your hair can be donated, heart wall, veins, bones, everything is we can like we can donate. Just only इतनी अपनी इच्छा होनी चाहिए देने की, बस यही भावना अपनी होनी चाहिए.
Yes, one more question. One Priya has asked that we are students. As a student, if we want to contribute to such organization, how can we volunteer or help? Absolutely, Priya. You can join an organization for voluntary work, and whenever we hope that all the situation comes to an end very soon, and we go personally, physically to every place that we have been going earlier to, and you as volunteers can help in your colleges, in your events, whatever are taking place. You can do that, and you can contribute in such way that you can be ambassador. Every one of you is an ambassador of organ donation. You can spread the word of organ donation. That's how you can contribute, spread awareness about it. It's a
Madam,
very nice
can you share contacts? Can you share your contacts, please?
Yes, absolutely. You can contact us 24/7, and we are working 24/7. There is no fixed timing for our work because death has no time. So we also have no working hours for us. You can contact us. My number is 9819 404145. I'll repeat again, 9819 404145. I'll share the number of Mr. Pawar also. It is 9822 49675. I'll repeat again, 9822 49675. So this is our contact numbers. We are working 24/7, but I'd like to give you one example. I had a lecture once in a college, and where I said that we work 24/7. And one night, about 1:45 at night, somebody called me, and I thought that okay, this is a call for donation. This is about maybe 2.5 years ago. So this guy, he calls me and he says that, am I talking to Meera ma'am? I said, yes, absolutely. How can I help you? So at this time of the night, naturally nobody will call for any other purpose other than organ donation. So I said, how can I help you? So he said, no, in your lecture I heard that you work 24/7. I just called to confirm if you're working 24/7. So yes, we get such people also to confirm how much we are working. We are sincerely working, no issues about it. You can call us anytime for any type of help that you require. You can confirm us also, no issues. Yes, anything else? Otherwise, on behalf of our Federation of Organ and Body Donation, I would like to thank you all so much, the organizers, the children who have taken pains to set up this Zoom meeting. Mr. Purushottam Pawar, thank you for giving this opportunity, and I hope I have reached many of you, especially the young hearts, and we have inspired them to do more in this field of organ donation. Whatever field you work, do it with sincerity. That's a blessing, that's all. Thank you so much. God bless you all.
Ma'am, this was really a great session and it was really informative. And you still look pretty, ma'am, because you're doing such a great work. And this makes you all look beautiful. And on behalf of everyone present here today, I would like to thank Mrs. Meera Suresh and Mr. Purushottam Pawar, sir, for sharing the valuable knowledge with us and also for managing time from their busy schedule to speak to us. I would also like to thank you, our principal ma'am, the Manjusha, dean, HODs, and teachers for your support. Lastly, I would like to thank our PO, Dr. Sunita Pal ma'am, for such a great initiative she took to conduct this week. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, everyone, for joining this week today. I hope you all are benefited from the knowledge and depth of expertise. Thank you all. I, Priya Kadam, signing off for today. If
Thank you so
anybody
much.
have any
Bye-bye.
queries, please we will deliver it to the ma'am.
Yeah, you can get back to me. Issues.
All of you, can you switch on your camera so that we can have a group photograph with madam and sir? Okay, the technical team will take the pictures, and before taking it, they get everybody's ready. Huh?
Yes.
By the way, I'm your neighbor. Huh? I stay in Khargat.
Oh, ma'am,
Right
thank you.
opposite you
Someday I will come to meet you.
Definitely, definitely. And just nearby.
Which sector, madam?
Are we done?
Done, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah, ma'am.
Done.
Done?
Done, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you,
Okay,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Purushottam,
Yeah,
sir.
sure.